Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's interview. And all the way from Perth, we have Connie Kis Anderson. How you doing, Connie?
I'm doing real well.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I'm glad that you could stop by Ben TV for a few minutes to speak with us.
It's my pleasure.
Um, so tell me how it all began for you. I'm sure that you've had a long history of music in your family, or at least for yourself, anyway. Maybe you can give me a little bit of a background of how you began in the music business.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because one of the things that, you know the term, I know we speak English, but we sometimes, being from different countries, we have different cliches and different terminologies. And you know that word, that cliche, spring chicken? Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm no spring chicken, and
Yeah.
in Australia we have the word chook. That's for an old hen. So I'm what I call a sprung chook, but meaning that I've been doing it for quite a while. But I think I'm in a very blessed situation to be still pursuing my passion, and it all started when I was young. I played. My parents asked me if I wanted to play an instrument, and I did. I wanted to play a piano, and I ended up, don't ask me how, but I ended up with what they call a banjo mandolin. And the banjo mandolin is a little instrument that is tuned like a mandolin, but has the skin like a banjo. And so that was my first instrument, and I learned it between the ages of 8 and 11. And my family were migrants to Australia. I was born in Copenhagen, Denmark. And so, they wanted to see Australia and embrace Australia. And we traveled to Burke, which is out in the outback, and we lived in Burke. And one of Australia's icons, Slim Dusty, he became very well known, and he's, in a sense, the father of Australian country music because he worked very hard and he toured in the outback. And my first gig was with Slim Dusty when he turned up in our town, and he invited the local talent to be on stage with him. So I guess I've been playing music for a long time, but you know, I was a good girl. I got a haircut and a real job. I didn't pursue my music passion for a long time. And then a few years back, always was a bar singer. So, that was my stress management. Always dragged the guitar. I'm actually a teacher by trade. And the guitar would live in the corner of my classroom. So we always had music. And weekends I would play in bands and things like that. And a few years ago, I decided to pursue it seriously and started pitching my music as a songwriter, and got the offer to record. And here I am now as a recording artist. So there you
Okay.
go.
Well, that sounds like it's all working for you, and I hope that you'll keep it up for a few more years at least. So,
Oh,
um,
I think I'll be playing my guitar in my coffin. Sort of thing. Yeah.
well, what are some of your influences as far as music goes? I mean, do you have any artists that you like and they inspired you to be a musician?
Well, that's an interesting question that I do get asked a lot. And one of the things that struck me when I had to actually think about it was that there are people, I guess, that play a part in your life at certain times, but the truth is, it's always been about the song. If it's a great song, I don't really care what genre it is. It's the song that really attracts me. So I know that when, as a child, Johnny Cash, he lived in our house a lot. My dad was a real Johnny Cash fan. Patsy Cline, as my mum loved Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves. So we shared our time in our house with them. Slim Dusty too. If you know the songs of his, the pub with no beer and those sorts of songs, they certainly were part of our life. As a young adult, I think I certainly became more attracted by the songs and the music. And so there'd be wonderful songs out that I would sing. One of my favorite female artists is not a country artist, even though I am, and it's Lorena McKennitt. I just think her voice is just exquisite. There are other artists there are songs like Anyway by Martina McBride that just, you know, take me right to my soul. And so then, am I a Martina McBride friend? I guess I am, you know. So there are songs by Patti Loveless that really get to me. And so, as I said, they're my influences, more the songs and then the singers. That was a long-winded answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, those artists. I mean, I like them too. So they're pretty good
Yeah,
singers.
yeah, they are.
Um, now you got some albums out, or I
Oh,
assume if so, how many do you have out? Is there anyone that you particularly want to plug for us right now, or?
well, I have, I guess you could say 4.5 albums.
Oh, okay.
One is an EP, but the songs on that EP are repeated on my first album. So I have 3 albums of original and one album when I tour here in Australia. Australians love the classics, and so do we as artists. I think you grow by playing those classic songs, and so I have an album of classics as well. But my last album was, in a sense, my works that I was most proud of because I felt I had really grown as a writer and an artist, and so it became self-titled. So
Could,
that's how
could we get your albums like on Amazon or iTunes or something like that?
CD Baby, Amazon, iTunes, and my distributor here in Australia is WJO Distribution. I believe they also send overseas. Also, my independent label, Kismana Music, you just have to look up my name, and it's Kiss with the one S. I
Okay.
said I was born in Copenhagen. If people think I misspell my own name, they often correct me and write Chris. But Kiss is actually a Danish derivative of the name Kirsten. And when my family migrated to Australia, they found that well, it was a bit like, you know, Johnny Cash's A Boy Named Sue when I went to school because my name was Kissa, and I'd go to school with a name like Kisser. Let me assure you, it toughens you up. But so if people just look up Connie Kis with one S, Andersen, S-E-N, there's lots of ways to find my albums online, you know, through my little label or other labels. Yeah, easy. Easy as they say.
Okay. Well, I guess that's about all the time we have for today. I do appreciate you again, coming forward and on the show and let us speak with you for a few minutes.
My
You're
absolute
welcome. You're
pleasure.
welcome. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said my absolute pleasure, and thank
Okay.
you for having me.
Well, I was just going to say, if you ever want to come back for any reason, we're more than welcome to have you back on. So,
We'll have part two,
yeah,
a
that's it.
sequel, a sequel to this interview. Hey,
Well, thanks again, and we'll be
thank
right
you.
back.
Thank you.